Welcome, welcome all of you. Welcome to this evening of stories. And I can see in your eyes you are very thirsty and hungry for stories, and we have a fresh harvest. Our storytellers have been growing for the last 3 months, and today is the time we are going to taste the flavor of some of the stories they are bringing for us today. I believe if you have come here, there must be one of the three things that pull you here. It might be either the love for teaching or the love for teacher as people. It could also be your love for children or the childhood or the longing that childhood brings. Or it could be just the stories. So no matter what your reason for being here, we thank you a lot for being here. Instead of the clap, we'll be just rubbing our hands. So every time you see some warmth, you feel some emotions in you, you can show it to the storytellers by rubbing your hands. So can you all pretend that whatever I'm saying right now is very profound, very lovely, and you can rub your hands exactly like this. And I want you all to notice that there is a chat option, especially for people who are very new to Zoom. आप में से जो लोग पहली बार Zoom का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, मैं आपका ध्यान लेके जाता हूँ एक चैट की तरफ, and you can use this chat to express yourself. I believe we storytellers are quite boastful people. We like to boast a lot. So today, I think I'm very proud to share that among us, among the audience, we have Professor Padma Sarangapani with us, who is the chairperson of Center of Excellence for Teacher Education in Tata Institute of Social Sciences. We also have among us Professor Neerja Raghavan, who is a mentor to many of our mentors, and it's so good to have you here. We also have the families of storytellers. And I think this is the day when their families would actually come and see what do they really do in these sessions, because they only hear the sounds and never get to see what happens in these sessions. So today is the day. Um, I think the children would love this session the most, not because there are a lot of stories for children, but because they'll see their teachers struggling, being nervous, their own parents shivering, and that is such a beautiful sight for them to see. So I welcome you all now to this evening, and I'll hand over this to our host for the day, Sarvika and Nandini. If you can unmute yourself, and we can get started.
Thank you, Ankit. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Namaste. Welcome to the magical world of stories. कहानियों की जादी हुई दुनिया में आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. So Nandini and I, we will be your hosts for the evening. और हम धीरे धीरे करके आपको इस दुनिया के पार लेके जाएंगे. I will not take much time. We are just going to dive into the stories. So, all the best, all the storytellers and audience. I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful time. So, we'll begin with our first story. We have Purna reciting a story in English called The Rabbit Listened, which is about how silence can become loneliness if no one is listening. Over to you, Purna.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, before I begin, I would like to request to all my fellow listeners to close their eyes for a moment and take a deep breath and relax. Now you can open your eyes, but do not forget to open your heart and listen to my story. One day, Minnie decided to build something new, something special, something amazing. It would be a world crafted out of her imagination. A place where she could live in forever, untouched by time. She was completely immersed in her play. She was feeling happy, excited, and proud. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, something happened and things came crashing down. The world she was creating was shattered in front of her eyes. She couldn't even protect it. She was speechless, frozen, numb. The chicken was the first to notice it. Cluck, 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 cluck. I'm so sorry this happened. Cluck, cluck. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. But Millie didn't feel like talking. So the chicken left. Next came the bear. How horrible. I bet you feel angry. Let's shout about it. But Minnie didn't feel like shouting. So the bear left. The elephant knew exactly what to do. Trump, ta-da, I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly the things where. But Minnie didn't feel like remembering. So the elephant also left. One after another they came. Hyena. Let's laugh about it. The ostrich. Good. Let's hide and pretend nothing happened. The kangaroo. What a mess. Let's throw things away. And the snake. Let's go and pretend and ruin someone else's. But Minnie didn't want to do anything with anybody. So eventually they all left until Minnie was alone. In the quiet, she didn't even notice the rabbit, but it came closer and closer until she could feel its warm body. Together, they sat in silence until Minnie said, "Please stay with me." The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened as Minnie talked. The rabbit listened as Minnie shouted. The rabbit listened as Minnie tried to remember and laughed. The rabbit listened Minnie's plan to hide something, to throw things away, to ruin someone else's. Through it all, the rabbit didn't let. And when the time was right, Rabbit listened Minnie's plan to build again. I can't wait, Minnie said. It's going to be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Purnaji. It was truly such a tender story. And I mean, it is so true in today's day and age. And I'm very glad to see that everybody in the audience were also listening. Purnaji, just a quick question. How has the journey been so far for you? After all this, now we've culminated it today.
It was a little bit scary, but it was thoroughly enjoying. I loved it. Even the struggle, I loved it.
Thank you so much, Purnaji. And we hope to listen to many more stories of you. Thank you so much. Indeed, very, very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, everyone, I hope, I'm sure the first story has just started off with a bang, and we have many more to follow. The next story is actually a folk tale, and it comes from the heart of central India. It is brought to us by Sunanda ji and Veena ji. This folk tale asks us a quiet but a very powerful question. What happens when stories are not shared? So let's lean in and find out from Sunanda ji and Veena ji. Over to you, Sunanda ji, Veena ji.
Once upon a time, there was a rich farmer. He had a servant with him who was always helping him in everything he did and who accompanied him wherever he went. One day, the rich farmer told his servant, I want to go and visit my son and daughter-in-law who live in a village not too far away. The next morning, they started off on their journey. They went to the dusty road and they walked and they walked and they walked. As the sun was setting, they saw a hut by the side of the road. they decided to spend the night there. After their meager meal, the servant asked his master to tell him a story. But the master refused abruptly, and he said he didn't want to share any of his stories. He just wanted to go to sleep. The master fell asleep immediately, but the servant stayed awake, wondering why his master didn't want to share any of the stories he knew, even though he knew for a fact that his master knew at least 3 stories he had been keeping in his belly for a long time. The servant lay still with his eyes closed, but after a while he heard some voices coming from beside his master's reclining figure. He understood that these voices were coming from the stories his master had been keeping in his belly for a long time. They had now come out and they were arguing amongst themselves. The first story said, "Why should we stay uselessly in this man's belly? He refuses to share us with anyone. It is better to kill him and go and live with someone else." The second story said, "I agree. It is my destiny as a story to be shared from person to person. This is how I, as a story, can become richer and stronger. But this will never happen as long as we are with this man. Let us finish him off tomorrow." And the third story then said, "I agree. Let us decide on how to finish him as quickly as possible." The servant was listening to all this quietly. And the first story continued, "Tomorrow, as soon as this man goes to his son's house, he will be given a meal. The first mouthful of rice he puts in his mouth, I will change to needles. He will die a painful death." The second story said, "If he is still alive, I will send a poisonous snake to bite him." And the third story said, "If he has escaped death till now, I will send a big wave to wash him away. He will die by drowning." The servant had been listening to all this. He knew what he had to do. He knew that his master was wrong in not wanting to share his stories, but he did not want him to die. The next morning, they continued on their journey and soon reached the son's house.
The son and the daughter-in-law warmly welcomed master and his servant to a delicious feast. The servant was very vigilant. The master's mouth was watering looking at the delicious food. He took a bite and was about to put it in his mouth. Tap came a slap on his hand. Master was, "Servant, there was an insect in the rice." Master sought to check. The rice had turned into needles. Master was a little scared now. He said, "Something is wrong. Let's go back home. This time we'll go by the riverside," he said. They were walking. Suddenly, came the stick of the servant, killing the snake. Master, before he was relieved, again the servant took his hand and pulled him to the safety. There was a big wave coming. Master was surprised, shocked. He turned towards the servant and asked him, "You saved me 3 times today. You know something that I don't. Tell me, what is that?" Servant was a little bit hesitant. He said, "I can't tell you. If I tell you, I will turn into a stone." Master was not ready to listen to that. A man turning into a stone? Ha! Tell me. Obliged. And he said, I'm going to tell you, if I turn into a stone, take your daughter-in-law's son and throw it against the stone, and I'll turn back into a human. Master, fast, I'm listening. And then the servant said, the other day, I listened to the stories coming out of your belly and planning to kill you. He turned into a stone. And the master walked away without a care, with the heart of a stone. There still stands a servant sculpture with his own untold stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Veena ji. Thank you, Sananda ji. Beautiful stories, and I'm so grateful to be in a circle where we all love sharing stories. We don't keep them in our belly. So yeah. Uh, so a few words, Veena ji and Sananda ji. Any of you can take over and start. How are you feeling?
Uh, this has been an amazing journey. I started this course because as a teacher, I thought that, I would learn how to use stories better in order to teach better. But however, I learned that stories are much more than that. That each of us have our own stories, and that if we learn how to share them, we will become stronger and richer in our understanding of ourselves. The other thing I learned, of course, is that through this process and Ankit's mentoring, how important the process is, how to, insist on quality control, for one thing, and how to work cooperatively with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Veena ji.
First of all, thank you for Sunanda for making me part of this story and being such an amazing craftsmanship over the course. And thank you for all the mentors and the group and the designer, everybody. Now coming to my favorite part, I think I'm going to get a little emotional, but anyway, Dr. Ankit. He brought science and art into storytelling along with the philosophy. I'm in a state of phase of my life where I've done that. I've been there. I've done that. What else can I do? Without telling, his reminder was like, there's a lot more to tell. There's a lot more path to walk. In a way, the story also coincidentally goes with that. So is my teacher, is my facilitator, is my mentor, is my guide. I'm also in that phase of life where I'm a little even scared to cross the road. So this young guy coming and telling me, it's okay, you can hold my hand and I will help you. So that is the metaphor. And so I love this 3 months, and he's going to be there for a long, long, long time. And it's a very, very sweetness to be led and mentored by your younger ones. So that's what it is.
Thank you, Veena ji.
Thank you. Thank you. May I come in for a moment to thank Sunanda and also thank Veena. And it's such a nice, this world of stories, because in the world of stories, even ants can be giants and giants can be ants. And that's what we also experience in our sessions. Sunanda ji is the mentor of many of the people who have mentored me. She has been director of a school with which I think many of the teachers who are here, they have been mentored by her for 15 years. And for her to walk into the session as a learner and doing homeworks and homeworks after homeworks and doing practice after practice after practice is, it's such a humane thing to see, Sunanda ji.
Thank
And
you.
you have worked for more years than I have been alive, and yet you listen to all of us and you listen to me, and that is, I think that is why we do this thing. That's why we do stories. So thank you, Sunanda, and thank you, Veena. Thank you so much. I think Veena is Veena is not really a teacher. She's actually looking forward to be a counselor and perhaps be a volunteer in the world of stories. She wants to go to places and tell stories. And so many of the people you would notice in this group are not really working in just the school, expanding our idea of is is learning and education only happening in school, or is it that we need it everywhere? Because so many of us are living in these concrete jungles and we're so lonely in our cities and so far away from our families. And then we just have this little thing we call phone. So, thanks to this miracle of technology, now we can listen to each other and remind ourselves of this wonderful tool of stories. And some of this we have already seen, and more of it is coming. I think I would personally love to invite Komal, who is about to tell us a folk tale. And this folk tale comes from my own homeland, which is Bundelkhand. And it's not just a story, it's also a story with a song. So perhaps I'll give you a few seconds for you, Komal, and whenever you're ready, we can start. Um, Over to you in a few seconds.
पीतल की मोरी गागरी दिल्ली से मोर मंगाई रे, पाँव में घुंघरू बांध के अब पनिया भरन हम जाई रे, पीतल की मोरी गागरी। बुंदेलखंड में एक छोटे से गांव में कुएं पे औरतें अक्सर अपना दुख सुख साझा करती और गाना गुनगुनाती थी। उसी गांव में एक चंपा करके एक औरत थी जो बहुत ही भोली भाली थी और उसे गाना गाना बहुत पसंद था, पर उसे कोई गाना आता ही नहीं था। एक दिन जब वो कुएं पे गई, अपने सहेलियों को पूछा, अरे इतना अच्छा गाना गाती हो, मुझे भी सिखाओ, कहाँ से लाती हो इतना अच्छा गाना? सहेलियों ने बोला मजाक में, तुम्हें नहीं पता, बने बनाए मिलते हैं गाने बाजार में। मैं तो जब भी जाती हूँ बाजार अपने लिए एक गाना खरीद लाती हूँ, तुम भी ले आओ अपने लिए एक गाना खरीद कर। चंपा ये सुनकर बड़ी खुश हुई और घर की ओर चल दी। घर पे पहुंचते ही उसने अपने पति प्रीतम को आवाज लगाई, अजी सुनते हो, ये लो 50 रुपए और मेरे लिए एक बढ़िया सा गाना लेके आओ बाजार से। ये सुनकर प्रीतम बड़ा चौंका और मनी मन सोचने लगा, गाना? मैंने तो नहीं देखा किसी को गाना बेचते हुए बाजार में। पर उसे चंपा को दुखी ना करना था। उसने 50 रुपए लिए और बाजार की ओर चल दिया। बाजार पहुंचते ही उसे सबसे पहले एक टमाटर वाला दिखा जो टमाटर बेच रहा था। और प्रीतम ने उस टमाटर वाले को बोला, ओ टमाटर वाले, आपके पास एक बढ़िया सा गाना है तो दे दो। टमाटर वाला बोला, मेरे पास तो लाल लाल टमाटर है, बोलो तो दे दो। प्रीतम बोला, नहीं भैया, आज तो सिर्फ गाना चाहिए, टमाटर रहने दो। पर प्रीतम को गाना चाहिए ही था। उसने टमाटर वाले को पूछा, आपको पता है कहाँ मिलेगा मुझे बढ़िया सा गाना? टमाटर वाला मजाक में बोला, कुछ आगे चलते ही एक खिलौने वालों की दुकान है, वहां आपको मिल जाएगा। प्रीतम चल दिया। बड़े उम्मीद से उसने 50 रुपए दे ही दिए खिलौने वालों को और बोला, भैया आप झट से एक गाना दे दो मुझे। खिलौने वाला मजाक में बोला, अरे भैया, आखिरी गाना था मेरे पास, वो भी बिक गया, आपने आने में थोड़ी देर कर दी। एक काम करो, अगले हफ्ते आना, बढ़िया सा गाना मिलेगा। प्रीतम ये सुनकर बड़ा उदास हुआ और घर की ओर चलने लगा कि अब चंपा को क्या बोलूं मैं, कोई गाना तो नहीं मिला मुझे। वो घर की ओर चल ही रहा था कि उसे एक चूहा दिखा जो मिट्टी खुरेद रहा था। उस प्रीतम ने उसको देखा और बोला, खोदे खरर खरर, खोदे खरर खरर। बस यही गुनगुनाते हुए वो आगे चल दिया। आगे चल के उसने देखा कि एक खरगोश था जो अपने बिल में से टगर मगर देख रहा था। उसे देख प्रीतम सोचा और बोला, देखे टगर मगर, देखे टगर मगर। यही भी गुनगुनाते हुए और आगे चलने लगा। आगे चलते उसे एक हिरण दिखा जो कूद कूद कर जा रहा था। उसने सोचा और बोला, कूदे अलंग फलंग, कूदे अलंग फलंग। बस यही गुनगुनाते जब वो चल रहा था, प्रीतम को लगा, अरे ये तो कितना अच्छा गाना बन गया। खो दे खरर खरर, खो दे खरर खरर, देखे टगर मगर, देखे टगर मगर, कूदे अलंग फलंग, कूदे अलंग फलंग। वो बड़ा खुश हुआ और तुरंत घर पे जाके चंपा को बोला, अजी सुनती हो, बढ़िया सा गाना लाया हूं। और चंपा को गा के सुनाया। चंपा को गाना बड़ा पसंद आया। चंपा को गाना इतना अच्छा लगा कि वो गाना गुनगुनाने लगी। पूरी रात बस गुनगुना रही थी और उसके आसपास क्या चल रहा था उसे कुछ खबर न थी। उस रात चंपा के घर कुछ चोर आए। चोरी करने चंपा के घर के बाहर मिट्टी खुरेदना शुरू किया। जैसे ही खुरेदना शुरू किया, घर से एक आवाज आई, खो दे खरर खरर, खो दे खरर खरर। ये सुनकर चोर बड़ा चौंके और एक दूसरे को देखने लगे। तभी घर से एक आवाज आई, देखे टगर मगर, देखे टगर मगर। चोर को लगा हमें कोई देख रहा है, हमें भागना चाहिए यहाँ से। वो भागने लगे तो घर से एक आवाज आई, कूदे अलंग फलंग, कूदे अलंग फलंग। बस क्या, फिर चोर तो भाग गए। चंपा पूरी रात गाना गा गा के इतना मग्न थी, जब सुबह हुई वो अपने सहेलियों के साथ ये गाना शेयर करने में चली गई कुएं की ओर। कुएं की ओर पहुंचते ही उसने सहेलियों को ये गाना सुनाया और सहेलियों ने बोला, अरे वाह, इतना अच्छा गाना है, हमें भी सिखाओ। तो वो गाने लगे, खो दे खरर खरर, खो दे खरर खरर, देखे टगर मगर, देखे टगर मगर, कूदे अलंग पलंग, कूदे अलंग पलंग। थैंक यू।
अमेजिंग कोमल जी, बहुत मजा आया सच में। इस दिस दिस द नेम ऑफ द स्टोरी इज व्हाट अ सॉन्ग, और सच में क्या गाना था। सीधा sang its way into our hearts. Thank you so much कोमल जी। और इसी के साथ मैं पूछना चाहूंगी, can you just walk us through your experience? कैसा रहा, आपने कैसा किया ये सब?
I'm a teacher and I'm a co-teacher actually, and I've always seen my main teacher narrating a story, and there was this uh, line which my students said to the main teacher that teacher आप ऐसे story बोल रहे हो कि ऐसे लग रहा है कि मेरे आंखों के सामने चल रही है ये। And I was just like, oh my God, can I give this experience to my children? And I could not like go ahead. I was not confident enough, but I think Ankit is magic. I like request to all the participants, just go for it. Like it's a amazing journey. I am now so confident that I can drive any story in a class. He is just amazing. So
Before it
I
turns
want
into an
everybody.
ad, thank you so much, Komal.
Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच कोमल। और आपकी आवाज में इतनी मिठास है जो हमें याद दिलाती है कि हमारी देश की इतनी सारी भाषाएं हैं जो सिर्फ बोली नहीं जाती हैं, जो गाई जाती हैं, जो सुनाई जाती हैं। आपकी आवाज में इतनी मिठास थी और इतना ठहराव था। मुझे नहीं पता कहानी सुनाते वक्त आप देख पा रहे थे कि ऑडियंस कितना झूम रही है आपकी आवाज के साथ, आपके बोल के साथ। पर बाद में आप रिकॉर्डिंग को देखेंगे तो आपको एहसास होगा कि हम सब आपके साथ इस गाने में, इस कहानी में आपके साथ थे। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कोमल।
थैंक यू अंकित सर, बट आज आप बच नहीं पाएंगे बिकॉज आई एम श्योर ईच एंड एवरी वन विल हैव वेरी सिमिलर थिंग्स टू से। सो थैंक यू सो मच कोमल जी एंड अंकित सर। आप बारी है श्रेया जी की। श्रेया जी हमें लेकर चलेंगी एक ऐसी दिवाली की कहानी में। अब दिवाली की कहानी में मिठास है, शरारतें हैं, और आज हम बचपन की वो नन्ही सी खुशी भी जो बस यादों में रह गई है। कहानी का नाम है गुट्टू की लड्डू वाली दिवाली। एक त्योहार, कुछ लड्डू और ढेर सारी यादें। ओवर टू यू श्रेया जी।
अरे, आप लोग सब आ गए। आप ही लोगों का तो इंतजार कर रही थी। कितनी देर लगा दी। चलो चलो जल्दी रसोई में चलते हैं, माँ इंतजार कर रही होगी। ये जो अभी कूदते फुदकते उछलते बच्चा यहाँ से गया है ना, वो घुट्टू है।
और आज दिवाली है, यानी घुट्टू का सबसे पसंदीदा त्योहार। अब पूछो क्यों? पूछो। वो इसलिए क्योंकि हर दिवाली घुट्टू अपनी माँ के साथ मिलकर ढेर सारे लड्डू बनाता है। और लड्डू गोल आकार के नहीं, गोल गोल तो साधारण लड्डू होते हैं, ये लड्डू होते हैं एकदम खास, घुट्टू के मन मुताबिक आकार के बने हुए। पिछले साल तो उसने कछुए के आकार के लड्डू बनाए थे। पता नहीं इस साल उसके मन में क्या चल रहा है। माँ, मैंने ऐसा सोचा है कि 20 लड्डू आम के आकार के और 20 लड्डू चांद के आकार के बनाते हैं। बोलो ठीक है ना? छोड़ो आलू कद्दू, रोज खाओ लड्डू, छोड़ो आलू कद्दू, रोज खाओ लड्डू। जब सारे लड्डू बन गए तब माँ और घुट्टू ने सारे लड्डुओं को एक डब्बे में बंद करके रसोई के दराजों के ऊपर बने टाट के ऊपर सरका कर रख दिया। माँ को बाजार जाना था, लेकिन जाते जाते घुट्टू को समझा कर गई कि बेटा शाम को पूजा है, भोग लगेगा और उसके बाद ही मिठाई का डब्बा खुलेगा, तुम थोड़ा ध्यान रखना। आप बेफिक्री से जाओ माँ, आप बिल्कुल मत डरो, मेरे अलावा इस डब्बे को और कोई हाथ नहीं लगाएगा। लेकिन वो मिठाई का डब्बा तो जैसे घुट्टू का आवाज दे देकर उसे बुला रहा था। ये तो बड़ा ही सब्र का इम्तिहान हो रहा था। घुट्टू अब कैसे बचता? चलो घर में कहीं और चलते हैं, देखते हैं बाकी लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पर तो समय नहीं कटेगा। अरे दादाजी, आप अपनी सैर से इतनी जल्दी वापस आ गए? अरे घुट्टू बेटा, क्या बताऊं, जब मैं आ रहा था बागान में इतने बड़े बड़े आम के पेड़ देखे और उन पेड़ पर लटकते हुए रसीले पके हुए पीले पीले आम। सोचा तुम्हें जाके बोलूं कि जाओ आम को तोड़ के खा लो। घुट्टू सीधा भागा, बागान की ओर नहीं, घुट्टू सीधा भागा रसोई की ओर, दराजों के ऊपर चढ़कर टाट के ऊपर रखे मिठाई के डब्बे को नीचे उतारकर खोलकर आम के आकार के जितने लड्डू थे वो घबाघब खा गया। मिठाई का डब्बा अभी बंद किया भी नहीं था कि उसके पापा ने उसे आवाज दी। जी पापा, आ रहा हूं। क्या कर रहे हो बेटा? जी मैं तो पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ। अच्छी बात है, यूं ही पढ़ते रहोगे तो एक दिन चांद पर पहुंच जाओगे। क्या मैं चांद पर पहुंच जाऊंगा? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल। पापा, क्या मैं चांद पर अभी पहुंच जाऊं? हाँ, कोशिश करके देखो, जाओ। घुट्टू ने ना दाएं देखा, ना बाएं, ना आगे ना पीछे, ना पलक झपकी, वो सीधा भागा फिर से रसोई की ओर, दराजों के ऊपर चढ़कर टाट पे रखे डब्बे को नीचे उतारकर नुकीले चांद के आकार में बने जितने लड्डू थे, घबक 1, घबक 2, घबक 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, और ये तो कुछ ज्यादा ही हो गए। अब तो मैं हिल भी नहीं पा रहा हूँ। क्या ये माँ के आने की आवाज है? अच्छा, अब मैं तो चला यहाँ से, है ना? अब आप लोग संभालो, बताना नहीं कि ये किसने करा है, क्योंकि मैं तो आपको जानता नहीं है, आप ना मुझे जानते हो। और मैं कहाँ छुप रहा हूँ ये भी जरा माँ को मत बताना। लेकिन मैं छुप कहाँ, माँ तो अभी आती ही होगी। हाँ, ये पर्दे पर्दे के पीछे। घुट्टू, ये डब्बा कहाँ गया? घुट्टू तो उस दिन पिटते पिटते बचा। घुट्टू ने अपनी माँ को पूरे घर में खूब दौड़ाया, आगे पीछे अंदर बाहर, लेकिन बेचारी माँ उसे पकड़ ना पाई। इसी भागम भाग के बीच में घर के दरवाजे की घंटी बजी और घुट्टू के मामा जी एक बड़ा सा तोहफा लेकर आए घुट्टू के लिए। घुट्टू ने बेसब्री से उस डब्बे को खोला और अरे घुट्टू की माँ, सुनती हो? जरा देखो मामा जी क्या लाए हैं। लड्डू। घुट्टू ने खूब सारे लड्डू खाए और एक बात उस दिन समझ में आई कि लड्डू की मिठास ना उसे खाने से ज्यादा उसे बनाने में, उसे छुपाने में, उसे चुराने में और बांटने में है। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू श्रेया, दैट इज सो ब्यूटीफुल। मुझे इतना मजा आ रहा था, एंड योर को एक्टर, उसको देख के भी बहुत मजा आ रहा था। So yeah, lot of fun. Now, just if you want to talk about your experience, आपके लिए कैसा था ये? हमारे लिए मजेदार था, आपके लिए कैसा था?
It was a beautiful experience for me. I practiced all my stories on him, so he already knew the plot and was giving away. But I remember Ankit in one of the sessions said that the world is made up of atoms, but we are made up of stories. And that really stays with me because I love stories. I love the people that we meet. They are all storytellers in their own ways. He is a storyteller in his own way. And just look at the group, look at the diversity, look at all of us from different ages, from different backgrounds, from different walks of life. And it's so amazing to be sharing this space, if not really pursuing storytelling as such, but just to be sharing this space right now here and saying these stories has been a very, very cherishable experience for me. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
शुक्रिया शुक्रिया शुक्रिया। थोड़ी बेईमानी आपने की है, एक कहानी के साथ दो कहानीकार आ गए और आपने एक की फीस में दो लोगों ने कहानियां सुना दी। और ऐसी ही बेईमानी हम भी थोड़ी करते हैं। हम इस कोर्स को स्टोरी टेलिंग बोलते हैं, पर इसमें हम सब कुछ करने की कोशिश करते हैं। इसमें हम थोड़े बहुत गाने भी ले आते हैं, इसमें हम थोड़ा बहुत अपने ऊपर भी काम करते हैं, इसमें हम थोड़ा बहुत बच्चों के साथ कैसे काम किया जाए इस पर भी थोड़ी बहुत बातचीत करते हैं। तो ये सब चीजों को हम घुला मिलाकर कुछ ऐसे लड्डू बनाते हैं। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया श्रेया इस कहानी के लिए। और आप हमें नाम बताना चाहेंगे हमारे दूसरे कहानीकार का, जिसे हम इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाए?
You want to tell your name? Blah blah. Blah blah. His name
ब्ला
is
ब्ला।
his name is blah blah.
तो आज ये ब्लाब्ला है। कल फिर से इसका नाम जानेंगे। अभी के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया श्रेया। जो उसकी टाइमिंग थी ना पीछे से उछलने की, ये हम भी पहली बार देख रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमने हमेशा कहानी आपके साथ तैयार की है। ये पीछे से उसका उछलना और याद दिलाना बड़ी सही टाइमिंग थी। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया श्रेया।
Thank you.
अब हम इस बचपन से ज्यादा दूर नहीं जाएंगे और इसी बचपन के आसपास काम करने वाली एक और हमारे बीच हमारी शिक्षिका हैं, रंजनी जी। रंजनी जी जो अब हमारी कहानी सुनाने के लिए तैयार हैं। अम, रंजनी जी की कहानी सिर्फ बच्चों की नहीं है, बच्चों को जिनके साथ खेलना पसंद है, जिनके साथ रहना पसंद है, उनकी भी है। तो अब अगर हम रंजनी जी आपको थोड़ा सा पहले बुला सके और हम आपकी कहानी अगर सुन सके तो क्या मैं आपको बुला सकता हूँ? बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
बिल्कुल। थैंक यू अंकित। सुमी और उसकी माँ बगीचे में टहल रहे थे। अचानक से सुमी ने जोर से आवाज लगाई, मम्मी मम्मी देखो पंछी नाले में। मम्मी का दुपट्टा खींचा और कहा, मम्मी इसे घर ले चलते हैं प्लीज, इसे ऐसे छोड़ के नहीं जा सकते मम्मी प्लीज, मम्मी प्लीज। माँ समझ गई, नाले के पास बैठी और आराम से पंछी को उठाया। देखा कि उसकी एक टांग टूटी हुई थी। उन्होंने अपने रुमाल में उसको लपेटा और सुमी के हाथों में दिया। सुमी ने उसे देखा और उससे बातें करने लगी। अरे मेरी प्यारी सी नन्ही सी चिड़िया, कितना दर्द होता होगा ना। कोई बात नहीं, हम तुम्हारी मदद करेंगे। जैसे घर पहुंचे उसने जोर से आवाज लगाना शुरू किया, भैया भैया देखो तो हम क्या लाए हैं, पंछी लाए हैं। मम्मा ने तो रखने के लिए अनुमति भी दे दी है, आओ जल्दी आओ। रवि दौड़ता हुआ आया, उसने पंछी को हाथ में लिया। हाय, इसकी तो एक टांग टूटी हुई है बेचारा। कोई बात नहीं, हम आपकी देखभाल करेंगे, मदद करेंगे। ये कहते हुए सुमी के हाथ में पकड़ाया और दौड़ता हुआ किचन में गया। एक छोटी सी कटोरी में जरा सा पानी लाया, ड्रॉपर की सहायता से उसकी चोंच के अंदर एक एक बूंद करके पंछी बहुत दर्द में थी। आँख खोल बंद, खोल बंद करे जा रही। इतने में सुमी दौड़ी और एक कार्टन के डब्बे में मुलायम सा कपड़ा बिछाया और सुंदर सा बिस्तर बनाया। दोनों ने मिलकर पंछी को बड़े ही आराम से उसके अंदर रखा। प्यार की गर्माहट पाकर पंछी तुरंत सो गई। इतने में सुमी को याद आया, भैया, पर पंछी ने तो अपना नाम बताया ही नहीं। अरे पगली, तू ही एक नाम दे देती ना। हाँ, मेरे दिमाग में तो दो नाम हैं, चुनमुन और मुनिया। रवि ने कहा, चुनमुन अच्छा है, हम इसे चुनमुन बुलाते हैं। फिर दोनों बच्चे भी सो गए। सुबह उठते ही रवि ने जगाना शुरू किया, उठ सुमी, उठो उठो सुमी, उठो तो। सुमी उठी। उसको डर लग गया, कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं। आंख मलते हुए पूछी, चुनमुन, चुनमुन ठीक तो है? रवि ने कहा, बहुत खूब। मम्मी ने तो उसे दूध और रोटी भी खिला दिया है। चलो। दोनों हॉल की तरफ दौड़े और देखा कि चुनमुन उधर कमरे में घूम रहे। उनका कुत्ता गब्बो तिरछी नजर से देखा, ये कौन है मेरे इलाके में? पर धीरे ही उससे दोस्ती कर ली और दोनों धीरे 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 कमरे के इर्द गिर्द घूमे। इतने में अचानक से दरवाजा जरा सा खुला और माली अब्दुल चाचा की बिल्ली मनो अंदर झांकने लगी। उसकी नजर पूरी तरह से पंछी पर अटकी हुई। गब्बो चौकन्ना हो गया। भाग जाओ यहाँ से, चुनमुन हमारा है, जाओ। मनु भाग गए। बच्चे बहुत प्यार से पंछी की देखभाल करते रहे। जैसे उन्होंने देखा कि धीरे धीरे उसकी टांग में शक्ति आने लगी, उन्होंने माचिस की तिल्ली हटा दी। अब पंछी तो उनके दिनचर्या में भाग लेने लगे। जैसे वो नहाने चले, ये भी पीछे पीछे नहाने चले। जैसे वो डुबकी लगाए, ये भी डुबकी लगाए। अच्छे से फड़फड़ाया। बच्चे बगीचे में गए तो ये भी गई उनके साथ और झट से पेड़ के निचली टहनी पर, क्योंकि अभी भी पूरी तरह से स्वस्थ नहीं था, निचली टहनी पर पहुंचकर चिक 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 करने लगा। कुछ दिन तो वही सोने लगा। फिर जब बच्चों की याद आई, उड़ता हुआ आया, उनके कंधों पे सवार होते पूरे घर में घूमता रहा। यहाँ तक कि गब्बो और चुनमुन दोनों एक ही परात में खाना खाने लगे। समय बीतता गया। धीरे धीरे चुनमुन ताकतवर होने लगा और एक दिन जैसे बच्चे और पूरा परिवार बगीचे में गया, ऊपर के टहनी में पहुंच गया। सब तरफ देखने लगा, बहुत खुश था। करने लगा। फिर अचानक से बोलने लगा, अरे मेरे पंखों में तो ताकत आ गई है, मैं मजबूत हो गया हूँ, अब मैं उड़ सकता हूँ, मैं आजाद हूँ। ये कहते हुए झट से खुली आसमान की ओर चल पड़ा।
Thank you, Ranjani ji. Thank you so much. It is a very powerful story. In fact, मेरे लिए ये सिर्फ एक स्टोरी नहीं है. It is a very big reminder कि compassion जो है, आपकी अंदर की भी जो cages होते हैं ना, जो सबसे टाइट होते हैं, उसको भी तोड़ सकते हैं, inside and even around us. So thank you so much. It is a beautiful story and a very strong reminder. Ranjani ji, क्या आप कुछ share करना चाहेंगे? Anything from this personal journey of yours?
It's been a fantastic journey. I've never been told stories as a child, for whatever reason, circumstances were such. But I'm enjoying every moment, every minute on this course with Ankit and the rest of the participants, as well as the other mentors. They've been wonderful. They've been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ranjani ji. Truly, thank you so much. I think it is an honor for us also to listen to such inspiring stories. With this, we would like to take a short break, just for 3 minutes. But please ensure that we are back in 3 minutes, because you've just seen the tip of the iceberg. We still have a lot more to offer you. So let your thoughts wander around, and let the words breathe inside us, whatever we've heard so far. We'll be back quickly in just 3 minutes time. Thank you so much.
And if you can hear my voice, it's time for us to come back, come back, come back.
All right, I think we're all back and we've had some amazing stories.
Sarvika, we might take 30 seconds more. I'm just seeing people
Oh,
coming back more. Yeah, let's just take 30
yes.
more seconds.
All right.
And meanwhile, if you remember, you have heard 5 stories so far. We started with Purna's story, then went on to hear Sunanda and Veena tell their story. Then we had the Komal with her Bundelkhand folktale, and Shriya with her story of the Ladu. And just now we heard Ranjini ji, the story about the little bird. So it's a good time for us to perhaps share in the chat if there is one of these stories that really touched us, or we could relate to. So perhaps you can use the chat now, while others are still joining us. And for the next 30 seconds, 1 minute, we can just hear from all of you. People are typing really long sentences.
The people have started sharing. We have Pranav, we are saying that the Laddu Wali story, probably we have all lived in our childhood. I agree. Then we have Anandita. All the stories are mesmerizing. Yes, I am equally in awe, even though I've heard everyone practice. Still, it's magical for me. And I think we have few more people. Yeah, so we have Mahua saying that she's exploring things inside herself based on everything she's hearing. Parul is decide. It's difficult for Parul to decide, which one is the best, because each of them have their own charm. Gitika is also in the same dilemma. Each and every story is beautiful. She's having a tough time to pick one. Same with Anjali. All the stories were good in their own way. Pranavya, he's saying that the listening rabbit story, yes, very true. A beautiful story, very meaningful. Hetal is saying all were fantastic. Anupama is saying that she loved the magic created through the voice, words, expressions, and by our storytellers. So, yes, that's what we were taught in this session, how to tell stories. So, again, big thank you to Ankit for teaching us
Sarvika,
that.
sounds like a radio when people like send their messages and reading it out on the
Yeah,
radio. हमें संदेश भेजा है अभी.
but it's
Thank you for reading it out for us. Not all of us actually know how to use the chat, so thank you for reading it out for all of us. So Sarvika, who is in line to come next?
all right. Next, we have Neha. She is going to tell us a parable. So it's a story of faith, perspective, and about the unseen. That what if the end that we fear is just the beginning that we can't imagine? So it's a story called Life After Birth. Over to you, Neha.
Is there life after birth? What will happen after birth? Will there be light? Will there be colors? What do you think? A child in the mother's womb was wondering, and he asked his little sister, "This again? How many times will I tell you there's nothing life after birth? This is all that we know. And what kind of life will that be?" I don't know. Maybe we are here to prepare ourselves for what comes later. Later? You actually believe in later? This warm, dark, cozy place that we live in is all that we know, and this is our reality. Maybe there's light after birth. Maybe we'll walk with our feet and eat with our mouth. Walking? Walking is absurd, and eating with our mouth is ridiculous. It is not possible. This umbilical cord that we have provides us that nutrition, and it's scientifically proven that this umbilical cord is all that we need. This logically, so this life after birth concept doesn't exist. Maybe it's just different from here. This umbilical cord or this physical cord, we don't need it anymore. Listen, if this life after birth actually existed, then why hasn't anyone come back from there? Life after birth is a myth. It is nothing. It is just darkness, oblivion. It leads us nowhere. But we'll certainly meet Mother, and she'll take care of us. Mother! You actually believe in Mother? If she exists, where is she now? Mother. Mother is all around us. We are of her. It is in her that we exist. Without her, this place will not and could not exist. Dear, if Mother was real, I would have felt her. So it's very logical that, I haven't seen her, I haven't heard of her, I haven't felt her, there's no evidence about her. Sometimes, in silence, when you listen, when you really listen, you can feel her presence. You can hear her loving voice from above. So this little child held his sister really close in the womb, and he said, "My dear sister, in silence, and only in silence, we can feel her presence."
Thank you, Neha ji. Thank you so much. I think these are stories. ये कभी खत्म नहीं होता. It doesn't end here. It just lingers on. And I could see everybody, बिल्कुल, they were just waiting for more. And it was such a beautiful ending about the silence. Uh, in fact, it makes us question how many times we have resisted the unknown in life, right? In fact, मेरी audience के साथ ये सवाल है. Have you ever felt that you've held back from something just because you didn't know what would happen next? हमें पता नहीं है आगे जाके क्या होने वाला है. And have you ever held back? If you have done, please, I would like you to virtually at least raise your hand. क्योंकि I think it is a very, very, I'm very guilty as charged. मैं बहुत बार मुझे नहीं पता आगे जाके क्या होने वाला है तो इसलिए मैं डर जाती हूँ. I'm not going to go ahead with it. So I have held see Paridi for a minute did raise a hand. And yes, Pooja ji raising hand. Yes, guilty as charged. Thank you so much, Sumangla ji. See, this is how. Come on, everyone. We really need. There's nothing. There's no wrong in this. Yes, Sanskriti. Everybody has slowly started. Garima. Everyone has started raising their hand. Komal. Yes, thank you. There are several times, and thank you. I can see more hands getting raised. Thank you so much, everyone. And I am sure there are many times, in fact, when this event also was being done, I'm sure many of us did initially resist कि हमें पता नहीं कैसे क्या होने वाला है. And we all did have that kind of a fear, which kind of held us back. And it was, of course, हमारे mentors who got us all on board. And आज ये event हो रहा है. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Yes, and नेहा जी, हम आपको नहीं छोड़ने वाले हैं because you have given us such a powerful story to think about. So I would really like to know your experience. Have you ever doubted on yourself, resisted when you had the fear of the unknown?
I'm really overwhelmed right now. So actually,
Oh, Neha ji,
so many friends and family has joined today and over the journey, and I haven't spoken to so many of you in the past few months, and I'm sorry. I think we'll continue.
How does it feel, Neha, to finally get the story out of you? Because you were carrying this story for so long, so long. And we all who have seen your journey in the sessions and in the last 2 weeks, we could see how much effort were you putting. And Neha was not the only one preparing the story. It was also her children and her teachers and her own mentors. So I think it was the whole ecosystem working alongside Neha. And I think it's the weight of all those relationships that now making us this overwhelmed. So let us take the time to feel this, Neha. We have all the time in the world.
I wanted to give up after my
absolutely.
first two sessions, but many people here didn't let me give up, including my children, my teachers, my colleagues. They just didn't let me give up. And it's just God's grace and, blessing. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
You say God's grace. Have you
Neha ji,
seen
in fact, it
God?
is not just
Yeah, sorry.
Nothing. I'm saying you're saying God's grace. And my question to you, is there God? Can we see it?
When we
Is there
actually
life
listen,
after death?
when we want to listen, reality, because I'm telling you out of my personal experience, when we really want to listen, only when we want to listen and we are in silence, we can hear. We can hear. And now I can tell this with conviction because it is my experience. Thank you for giving us the platform. And thank you to all my friends who've become my family and my family who's here. Thank you.
So, among all the people who received the
thank you,
passes,
Neha ji.
a third of the people just wanted to see Neha. Everyone writing in the passes that we are just here to see Neha. And I was like, is she a celebrity or something? Like, how come every third person just wants to see Neha? Who is Neha? Because I used to think of her as a very humble yoga teacher living in a remote school. So, yeah, Neha, what is it?
Blessed. It's just blessed. I'm blessed to have a wonderful family and friends. Just blessed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
this.
Neha. It's not just you who's got emotional. Clearly, in the comments, also there are many who got emotional. And in fact, your niece is also, thank you, Masi, is also, she's given the Masi a wonderful compliment. So thank you, Neha ji. It was amazing. And I think we were very fortunate enough to listen to this. And it was a very interesting conversation जो अभी अंकित sir ने शुरू किया था. Do you believe in God? Have you seen God? In fact, now next we have Manvi ji, who is going to be coming and talking to us or sharing with us a very, very powerful story. कहते हैं कि ईश्वर हमारा विश्वास करता है जितना शायद हम खुद पर नहीं कर पाते. So, based on this, we are going to have मंच पर मानवी जी, who is going to come with her short story, which is called, कहानी का नाम है इशारे. एक कहानी जो शब्दों से ज्यादा इशारों में बहती है. Over to you, Manvi ji.
लोग कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, लोग कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, माया यशोदा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं, माया यशोदा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं। दूर एक सुंदर से गांव के मंदिर में लोग बड़े भक्ति से ये भजन गा रहे थे। सॉरी,
और वो सब लोग जानते थे एक ऐसे इंसान
लोग
को जो सबसे बड़ा भक्त था, मांडवी जी।
उस मंदिर में जो एक पुजारी जिसे सब प्यार से भक्त कहते थे, भक्त की अटूट श्रद्धा थी, भक्त की भगवान पर अटूट श्रद्धा थी। लोगों का मानना था कि साक्षात भगवान ने उन्हें दर्शन दिए हैं। एक्चुअली मुझे सॉरी,
मांडवी जी, आप हमें बता सकते हैं क्या मुश्किल हो रही है?
अब सही
जी।
मैं एक बार फिर से कर सकती हूँ क्या?
नहीं नहीं, हमें पता है कि लोग जानते हैं कि एक भक्त है जो कि भगवान के बहुत बड़े भक्त है, और सबको ऐसा लगता है कि इतने बड़े भक्त है तो शायद इनको कोई विशेष सिद्धि प्राप्त होगी। तो हम इसके आगे सुनते हैं।
उनको साक्षात दर्शन प्राप्त हुए थे, इसलिए लोगों का मानना था कि लोगों में उनका बहुत मान सम्मान था। धीरे धीरे कई वर्ष बीत गए। एक वर्ष जब बारिश के मौसम में इतना पानी बरसा, इतना पानी बरसा कि गांव में बाढ़ आ गई। बाढ़ आने से गांव के लोग परेशान हो गए, खाने पीने की भी असुविधा हो गई, गांव में बिजली भी चली गई, जिससे लोग गांव छोड़कर जाने लगते हैं। जाते समय कुछ प्रियजन उनको अपने साथ ले जाने के लिए पूछते हैं, तो भक्त मन ही मन सोचने लगता है कि मैं इनके साथ गांव छोड़कर क्यों जाऊं। यदि मैं इनके साथ गांव छोड़कर जाता हूँ तो उसका मतलब है मैं अपने भगवान पर भरोसा नहीं करता, और जिसके कारण मेरे गांव में इज्जत है। पर बहुत सोच विचार के वो भाइयों से कहते हैं, नहीं आप लोग जाओ, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा। जाको राखे साइया, मार सके ना कोई। धीरे धीरे बाढ़ का पानी चढ़ता गया, और तब एक बार फिर कुछ प्रियजन उनके पास नाव लेकर पहुंचे और भक्त से चलने का आग्रह किया। भक्त का तो वही जवाब था, जाको राखे साइया, मार सके ना कोई। बारिश कभी रुकी नहीं और पानी मंदिर में प्रवेश कर गया। धीरे धीरे पानी भक्त के घुटनों तक, और घुटनों से कमर तक, और अब गर्दन तक आ पहुंचा। तभी भक्त की दृष्टि एक रस्सी पर पड़ी। वह रस्सी उस समय हेलीकॉप्टर से आए सुरक्षा में हेलीकॉप्टर ने फेंकी थी। पर भक्त वह रस्सी भी नहीं पकड़ा और जोर जोर से गाने लगा, जाको राखे साइया, मार सके ना कोई, जाको राखे साइया, मार सके ना कोई। आखिरकार भक्त अपनी जान गंवा बैठा। मृत्यु के पश्चात भक्त गुस्से में स्वर्ग जा पहुंचा। स्वर्ग में उसकी मुलाकात ईश्वर से हुई। ईश्वर से जब मिला तो वो गुस्से में ही उनसे पूछता है, मैं तो आप पे बहुत भरोसा करता था, और फिर ऐसी मृत्यु मुझे क्यों हुई? ईश्वर बोले, बड़े प्यार से धीमे से मुस्कुरा के बोले, अरे भक्त, मैं तो तुम्हारे पास कई बार आया, पर तुमने तो मुझे पहचाना ही नहीं, मेरे इशारों को समझा ही नहीं। भक्त फिर नाराज होकर, आप झूठ बोलते हैं, ना तो आप कभी गदा लेकर आए, ना त्रिशूल लेकर आए, और ना ही मुकुट लगा के आए। मैंने तो आपको कहीं नहीं देखा। ईश्वर बोले, भक्त, मैं तुम्हारे प्राण बचाने कई बार आया। एक बार मैं नाव लेकर आया, और एक बार मैं हेलीकॉप्टर लेकर आया, पर तुम तो खुद के अंधविश्वास में ही उलझे रहे। तुम खुद स्वयं कुछ नहीं करना चाहते थे और ईश्वर की शिकायत करते हो। देखा आप सबने, हम सोच में पड़ जाते हैं कि भगवान कब आएंगे, पर भगवान सच तो ये है कि प्रतिदिन किसी न किसी रूप में मिलते हैं। कभी हमारी माँ के हाथों का खाना बनकर, कभी किसी अनजाने की मुस्कुराहट में, और कभी हमारे ही अंदर खामोश हिम्मत बनके। वह हमारे साथ हमेशा रहते हैं। बहुत नर्वस महसूस हो गई थी।
मांडवी जी, इट इज वेरी ह्यूमन टू बी नर्वस। हम नर्वस होते हैं क्योंकि हम बहुत वैल्यू करते हैं जो चीज हम उसे कर रहे हैं, ना सिर्फ कहानियों को बल्कि ऑडियंस के टाइम को भी। और एक बार जब वो डर हमारे शरीर को जकड़ लेता है, उसके बावजूद वहां पर कहानी को आगे बढ़ाना, कहानी को पूरा सुनाना दिखाता है कि आप में कितनी हिम्मत है, आपने कितनी ज्यादा मेहनत की है इस कहानी के पीछे। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि आप हम सबको बताएं कि आपने कैसे तैयारी की और कितनी तैयारी की, और आपने सोते हुए उठते हुए इस कहानी को पूरा अपने अंदर उतारा है। तो आप बताएं हमारी आपकी तैयारी के बारे में हम सबको।
बिल्कुल, कि अंकित, यदि आप नहीं होते तो शायद मैं यहाँ नहीं बैठी होती। आपका जो मोटिवेशन था मेरे प्रति और सभी अपने बैचमेट्स के पार्टिसिपेट्स के लिए कि नहीं आपको करना है, जब आपने सारा चीज किया है तो इससे क्यों डर रहे हो। तो फिर मेरे अंदर जो एक इंसान, मैं स्वयं खुद हूँ, तो उसके अंदर मेरे अपने सिद्धांतों ने कहा, जब मैंने यहाँ तक, मेरे लिए ये वर्ड बिल्कुल नया है। ये मैं फर्स्ट टाइम कर रही, कभी स्टोरी पढ़ने का शौक नहीं रहा मुझे, बट मैंने जिसमें मैं वर्क कर रही हूँ तो मुझे लगा कि ये सीखने से शायद मुझे कुछ अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले और मैं अपने बच्चों को और अच्छी तरह से सिखा सकूं। पर मुझे ये आपके साथ और ये मेरे जो बैचमेट्स हैं, बहुत एंजॉय किया मैंने इस जर्नी को, और बहुत अच्छा लगा। सबने मेरा इतना सहयोग किया, सविता मैम, सुरभि, किसका किसका नाम लो, सबने, और पूना मैम, सबने इतनी मेहनत की मेरी हर फिल्म में, हर 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 चीज में तुरंत रिएक्शन, तुरंत आपको जवाब मिल जाता है कि मतलब आपको ये नहीं है कि, और अंकित का तो तुरंत रिस्पॉन्स आता है। हमारे मेंटर्स इतने अच्छे हैं, इतने अच्छे हैं कि इनको हम लाख लाख थैंक यू कहते हैं, लाख लाख थैंक
शुक्रिया मांडवी जी, आपकी ऑस्कर स्पीच में हमें भक्ति नजर आ रही है। और जाको रखे साया मार सके ना कोई। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मांडवी जी इसके लिए। क्योंकि इस सत्र में हम सिर्फ कहानियों को सुन रहे हैं और उस कहानी के बारे में एक या दो लाइन सुन रहे हैं। अक्सर हमें ये सुनने का या जानने का मौका नहीं मिल रहा कि जो हमारे सामने लोग हैं वो किस तरह का काम करते हैं। मैं खास तौर से कम अभी हमारे सामने मांडवी जी हैं, जो आपने सबसे पहली कहानी सुनी थी। पूर्णा जी हैं, ये दिल्ली में रहते हैं और अपने लर्निंग सेंटर्स चलाते हैं जहाँ चिल्ड्रन विद डिसेबिलिटीज उनके पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, जहाँ पर उनके साथ वो काम करते हैं। मांडवी जी, अगर उसके बारे में भी आप हमें कुछ बता पाएं, पूर्णा आप कुछ बता पाएं, शायद हमारे बाकी लोगों को समझने में मदद लगेगी कि आप कहानी क्यों सीख रहे हैं। वाई आर यू इंटरेस्टेड इन स्टोरीज? आई थिंक इट विल हेल्प अस मेक सेंस ऑफ इट, लाइक वाई स्टोरीज।
मैं जिस फील्ड में काम करती हूँ उसमें स्पेशल चाइल्ड्स हैं। जो मुझे लगा जब मैं इस फील्ड में घुसी और लगा कि इन बच्चों की मुस्कुराहट, और मुझे वो मतलब ये साइलेंस है, जो प्यार, ये जो बोलते भी नहीं है, कई बच्चे उसमें से बोलते भी नहीं है, पर मेरी मुझे समझते हैं। मैं उनको जो बताती हूँ, जो सिखाती हूँ, उसे समझते हैं, पकड़ते हैं, और मुझे माँ ही मानते हैं वो। और एज ए माँ, मदर की तरह मैं भी उनके साथ वैसे ही काम करती हूँ। और मैंने इस स्टोरी को इसलिए अपनाया कि शायद इसके
हाँ,
थ्रू मैं और चीजें उनमें इम्प्रूव
आगे
ला
भाई
सकूं,
गए क्या?
अपने बच्चों में और इम्प्रूवमेंट कर सकूं। और आगे पूर्णा मैम बताएंगी बहुत अच्छे तरीके से।
मांडवी जी, आप जो बोलते हैं वही अच्छा तरीका है। इसके अलावा कोई अच्छा तरीका नहीं होता। सिर्फ इंग्लिश बोल देने से कोई तरीका अच्छा तरीका नहीं हो जाता।
सर, मेरे साथ ये है कि मैं दिल से काम करती हूँ, जो अंदर है वही बाहर है, सीधे सिंपल।
शुक्रिया इस कहानी के जरिए हमें अपना दिल दिखाने के लिए और इसके अंदर जो प्यार है आपका बच्चों के लिए वो दिखाने के लिए। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मांडवी जी।
आप सब
Purna, I think, can do you want to take a moment to perhaps take us through what do you do and how are you looking at using stories in your work?
Well, I work with children children are children, okay? So be it neurotypical, be it neurodivergent, when children are in front of me, they are just he or she is just a child. We do not tag him like इनका ये है, उनका वो है, ऐसा चीज नहीं है. So in that way, you can really see the child, not the diagnosis and the superficial way of, So story is very important because play itself is a language. When they play, they are basically communicating with us, right? In their own way. And once we see that, we understand what they want to say. Even they are not using words, you know. So the story that I narrated, it's very, it's very near to me. It's very close to my heart. And I try to live that story every day, and especially when I'm around children. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Jemima. Thank you, Dr. Swati, and all my fellow listeners. Thank you very much for creating this safe space for all of us and, being our rabbits. Thank you.
All right. तो आई होप सबको मजा आ रहा है बिकॉज मुझे बहुत मजा आ रहा है सो आई होप उसकी वजह से सबको बहुत मजा आ रहा है सो वी मूव ऑन टू अनदर फन स्टोरी आई थिंक मानवी जी की स्टोरी ने हमको बहुत हंसाया तो ये एक और मजेदार स्टोरी है विच यू आर गोइंग टू हियर फ्रॉम अपराजिता एंड गरिमा which is a tale of kindness and it also gives us some insight that why does the chicken go cock-a-doodle doo because mujhe nahi pata ye so let's find out that through their story it is chicken in a hurry that why does the chicken go cock-a-doodle doo over to you Garima and Aprajita.
कुकड़ू कुकड़ू क्या आपने कभी सोचा है कि सूरज की पहली किरण निकलते ही एक मुर्गा जोर जोर से कुकड़ू कू क्यों करने लगता है? नहीं ना? तो आइए जानते हैं. So once upon a time, there was a big fat hen who laid several eggs in a big round basket. The hen would sit and nurture the eggs all day and night and day. 1 week passed, another week passed, the third week passed too. And then on the 21st day, the egg began to crack, and from each egg emerged a tiny baby chick. Mother hen was truly happy, but she had a niggling worry too. There was still one egg that had not cracked yet. The poor mother hen took it under her warm feathers and prayed to God. Hey Allah Mia, may a sweet little chick come out of this egg too, please. But the little chick seemed to be in no hurry. It was only after 3 more days that the chick finally emerged. But once it was out, oh, what a chicken! Soft golden feathers, sharp beak, and the beadiest black eyes you would have ever seen. The little chicken was truly beautiful. Mother hen named him Chuzumia. Ji haan, Chuzumia. Now soon, Chuzumia became quite famous. After all, he was a pretty chick. Everyone made such a fuss of his beauty that in a matter of days, Chuzumia began to preach. In some days, he decided that the basket is not a place for a special chicken. So he went to Mother Hen and said, "Stay here. I'm off to the king's palace. That's the place for me." Now Mother Hen was quite shocked, but she said softly, "Chuzumiya, little children stay home near their mother and keep themselves warm. Look at your brothers and sisters. Besides, do you even know how far the king's palace is? Chuzumiya, it took you so long to come out of an egg. Just imagine how long will it take to get there." all his brothers and sisters agreed. Now Chuzumiya could not bear this and got all triggered. So what if mine was the last egg to crack? So what? After all, I'm a special chicken. I'll show them. I'll show them. Reach there, and I can reach there on time, he thought. So he ruffled his feathers and said, "I'm up now. I'm in a hurry. I'm off to the king's palace." And off he went. Now, some distance away, a fire was burning by the side of the road. As soon as Chuzumiya reached there, the fire crackled and said, "Chuzumiya, Chuzumiya, please help me, Chuzumiya, please help me. I got up late today and could not gather enough wood. If I don't put more wood, I would soon die. Please help me. Please pick a few sticks so that I can burn more. Please, please, please." But Chuzumiya was a chicken in a hurry. So he rubbed his feathers and said, "I'm up now. I'm in a hurry. I'm off to the king's palace." Chirp, chirp. And off he went. Now up ahead, a stream was flowing over a few pebbles. As soon as Chuzumiya reached there, the water in the stream said, "Chuzumiya, Chuzumiya, please help me. Please help me, Chuzumiya. I woke up late today and could not make my way. Please pick a few pebbles so that I can flow easily. Please, Chuzumiya. Please, please, please." But Chuzumiya was a chicken in a hurry. So he ruffled his feathers and said, "I'm up now. I'm in a hurry. I'm off to the king's palace." Chirp, chirp. And off he went again. Now, some distance away, past a bend in a road, there was a big thorny bush. So Chuzumiya reached there. He heard the wind listen. "Chuzumiya, Chuzumiya, oh Chuzumiya, please help me, please help me. I woke up late today and in my hurry, I got directly into this bush. I got stuck here. Please free my cape so that I can be free again, so that I can blow again. Please, Chuzumiya, please, please, please." But we all know Chuzumiya was a chicken in a hurry. So he ruffled his feathers and said, "I'm up now. I'm in a hurry. I'm off to the king's palace." And off he went.
Soon, a little chicken in a hurry, he reached the king's castle. And oh, what a beautiful castle it was. There, the royal cook, he seemed to be looking for something. He was looking for a little chicken. He was looking for a chicken to make the curry for a king. And little Chuzumiya, in his hurry, he rushed right into the cook's hands. The cook grabbed the little chicken and put him in a big pot, put a lid on it, and lit a fire underneath. Chuzumiya was startled. And with the rising temperature, his panic rose. Oh, oh, I came to the king's palace to live, not die. Somebody, please help me. Somebody save me, please. Oh, fire, fire, please don't burn me. The fire heard the cries of the little chicken and thought, now Chuzumiya needs my help. But the fire had a good heart and decided to save the little chicken. With a big whoosh, it died out. Chuzumiya sighed in relief. Whew. And then he realized he was still stuck in the big pot. So he started struggling. But there's not much a little chicken can do in a big pot. So he started yelling and screaming again for help. Somebody, please help me get out. Help me, please. The wind that was blowing past the king's palace heard the little chicken's cries. And he took pity on the little chicken, decided to help him. With a big, strong gush, the wind toppled the pot over. The lid came rolling off with a clamor. Chuzumiya scrambled out of the pot. But hearing all this commotion, the royal cook, he rushed in. When he saw the king's breakfast, that little chicken scurrying about in the kitchen, he got angry and screamed, "Ah!" and started chasing her poor little Chuzumia. Chuzumia was now seriously a chicken in a hurry. He ran and ran, cheep, 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 crying for help. Help, help, somebody, please save me. Cheep, cheep, cheep. The water that was running in the king's palace heard the poor little chicken cry for help, and he decided to help him. So, when the little chicken came rushing past, cheep, 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 with the royal cook hot at his feet, water gushed out, lifted the little chicken, and took him all the way back to his home. There, the mother hen and all his brothers and sisters welcomed Chuzumia with joy. Cheep, 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 pack, 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 pack. Chuzumia was so happy and relieved to be back home. But somewhere he felt guilty, he felt ashamed. He thought to himself, the fire, the wind, and the water, they rushed in to save me when I was in trouble. But I barely heard them out when they were crying out for help. There must be something that I can do to thank them, he thought. So the little chicken thought and thought and thought, what can I do? Aha! I know. The fire, the water, and the wind, they got in trouble because they woke up late. I can do something to help them. And next morning, Chuzumia, he woke up at the crack of dawn. As loudly as he could, the chicken started crowing. Kukuruku! 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 Ever since then, Chuzumia wakes up every morning and crows as loudly as he can, telling the fire, the water, and the wind, it is time to wake up. So, do you have someone who wakes you up like that too? You.
Thank you so much, Garima ji and Aparajita ji. It was very, very delightful and such a heartwarming tale. I did not know that there was a reason. Every time when you hear it in the morning, मुझे नहीं पता था कि there was a reason behind it. And now I think Chuzumiya is somebody we're always going to remember. I have just a small request. Can both of you please do the kukuruku just once, please? बहुत मजा आया था. Just once for us.
Garima, are you ready?
Just kukuruku, please.
Kukuruku! Kukuruku! Kukuruku!
Well, thank you. That was a reminder for Chuzumiya. Thank you so, so much. And it's also such an important message. It carried a big message too. उसके छोटे छोटे पैर और flapping of the wings say about kindness. Yes, so thank you so much for that. But Garima ji and Aparajita ji, आप बताइए, how much did Ankit sir have to do kukuruku with you people to get into the story mode? How was your experience?
Garima, I would like for you to go first.
Okay, so
I
the
need
question
that.
that you have asked Nandini, only Ankit sir can answer that, I'm sure. But if I share my experience with stories, I'm not very sure why I landed in this course. I think I was just aligned. I felt okay, it is a good skill to learn, maybe, and that is how I came here. But for me, it has been a journey of self-exploration. And more than the techniques, what has stayed with me is what are the stories that we are telling ourselves? What are the stories that we want to tell? What are the stories that we don't want to tell, and maybe why? So this has stayed with me, and I think this is something that I'll take forward. What are the stories that each of us are telling ourselves? So for me, it has been a journey of a lot of self-awareness and self-exploration. Yes, and a beautiful community, I would say. wonderful community. You just message and someone responds. I can't even tell you. I think we all know that. So yeah, so it has been a lovely experience. Yeah.
Yeah, Garima, would you also like to tell us what do you do? Aparajita as well. What do you do?
Okay. Yes. So I am a PhD research fellow at Punjab University, Chandigarh, and I'm working in the area of skill development and public policy. But besides, I work in the area of mental health and life coaching. I am a freelancer. I take sessions on mental health, emotional wellness, basically in different schools for teachers, students, and one-to-ones as well. So that is what I do. Yeah.
So
Thank you, Garima ji.
maybe,
Yes, Aparajita ji.
maybe I'll say now. So, hi, I am a nature educator and I resonate with the reasons why, people use storytelling for work like we do. So, yes, nature and stories, they have had a very important impact. I've seen it in myself and people around me. How I got into this course and what I learned from this, that itself is a very interesting story. So I remember my mother telling me during school, how come you write so well, but when you narrate things, I can't make out a single character. Okay, so from there to then this year, I was inspired by my senior, who is an excellent storyteller. Like if other experts can handle a crowd of 30, 40 people, because he's such a good storyteller, he can handle like 60, 120 very easily. So this year my resolution was to learn to become a better speaker, better storyteller. And that's right when I came across this course. And like I said, storytelling सीखना तो एक बात अपने में है, वो तो काफी कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा है. बट अपना कैरेक्टर डेवलपमेंट होते हुए जो देखा है एंड फील किया, दैट इज लाइक ओ या. So yes, thank you everyone, and
Thank
also
you.
Garima.
Aparajita is one person I want to mention. Whenever we take sessions, often we don't get a chance to speak everyone. But if we see in the sessions a lot of hearts coming out of the screen, it usually comes from Aparajita. If you're speaking 5 sentences, 3 out of the 5 sentences would have hearts coming out in the session coming from like one corner, and I would know Aparajita is there. So thank you, Aparajita, for taking this learning journey very patiently, despite you being so busy, still practicing the story, still getting there, and today coming to the finish line. It just feels good to see you both. Thank you, Garima. Thank you, Prajita.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we've had a series of some fun stories. So up next, I would like to invite Pooja ji, who would be bringing us a story that probably speaks very softly, but I'm sure it would leave a very deep imprint. The story is called The Invisible Boy. It is a story of a boy who nobody notices, and it is a story about the power of being seen, and most importantly, the deeper power of choosing to see someone. So I would like to invite Pooja ji to come forward.
Thank you, Nandini ji. So let's all go to a classroom. A classroom where some children are doing something naughty. Some are running from them. Some are complaining. And the poor teacher, if you have been in a classroom, you're very well aware. All these people take up your all energy and attention. And in the classroom, in the corner, sits a boy, Brian. Meet Brian. He's a peaceful, quiet kid. As all the energy of the teacher is taken up by all these children, poor Brian, he gets very little. And most of the time, he didn't even get that attention. And not just his teacher, even his friends and peer at time misses out to notice him. It's not just about the class time or the playtime. The lunchtime is the worst. It feels like that are the longest 20 minutes of Brian's life. The earth stops spinning and the hands of the clock, they forget to move. Though Brian is sitting on the same table as his classmate. Nobody sees him sitting there. They all are talking among themselves, sharing their anecdotes, laughing, giggling. And to Brian, it seems like as if the noise is coming. He just wants to disappear into his food and want this 20 minutes to get over. As soon as the lunch gets over, he takes a sigh of relief and moves to the classroom. And then he looks forward to a time which is known as the choice time. It's a time when children can choose whatever they want to do. Some choose to build blocks with their friends, and some read books. And Brian, he does what he likes the best. Or over the time he have believed that he is best in that is drawing. He takes out his lucky pen and start drawing a dragon, a fire spitting dragon climbing on the tall building and helping a superhero. The superpower is to make friend wherever he goes, and the people around him are sharing things with him. A pirate looking for treasure, and that treasure which everybody wants. That is a Brian. And the days goes like this until one day the teacher introduced a new kid, Justin. The teacher mentioned Justin is new to our country. He has come from a different region. And children were looking at him with suspicion. Can he be a friend? Does he know our culture? And what not? Whereas Brian, he smiled shyly to Justin. And again came lunchtime. Brian took his lunch, went to the corner, eating with his ears open, but aware that nobody would notice him. While he was eating alone, he heard people teasing Justin. The other children were making fun of what Justin was eating as his food was different from what they were eating. Brian could empathize with Justin. In his head, he thought, what is worse, being laughed at or being invisible? And with that dilemma, the day ended. Next day, when Justin walked to his cubbyhole where they used to put all their stuff, he found a note on which a beautiful picture of a friend of his eating and sharing his food was drawn, and it was written, I think your food was delicious, Brian. And that note made Justin's day because somebody acknowledged him. He walked up to Brian and said, I found your note. Thank you for the note. And by the way, the drawing is superb. And he walked past. Come to the day when the teacher gave an assignment. It was an assignment where children were to pair up and create stories and draw something. That was the moment Brian just wanted to draw a big hole in the ground and submerge himself in it because he knew nobody would ever come to him to team up. And while he wanted to submerge himself and the thought of submerging was going on, Justin came. Hey Brian, would you like to join me and my partner? There was a hope. He was about to take out his lucky pen and Justin mentioned, yes, you can draw the pictures to go with our story. And the team created beautiful story with beautiful illustration. When they presented, the whole class stood in an awe what the beautiful picture and narration were. It was the moment when Brian was not invisible anymore. And that was my story. It led me with the thought, have you ever noticed somebody invisible around you? Maybe in your family, in your friend circle, and at your workplace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pooja. That was so beautiful. I think her story made her understand how powerful just a small act of kindness can be. Um, so yeah. So Pooja, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, what do you do, and of course your Oscar speech about your experience till today.
Yeah. So I stumbled upon this course where I wanted to do something. I love stories. I am a big fan of stories, and I have been there was not a single day while growing up when I did not hear a story. So my world is all about stories. And now when I be with my little one, that's what I give. Because कहते हैं ना, कहानियों में तो पूरा संसार है और हम सब बैठे ही तो कहानियां लेकर हैं. And when I saw this course and the ad of this course on Instagram, I just wanted to do it. But there is a little tricky thing about me is I am little like Brian, where I just disappear because it takes so much effort to come out for a lot of reason. So yeah, uh, I have been so grateful to people who don't just let me disappear and call me back again and again. Thank you so much for that. And one of my colleague and friend is also here. Nupur ma'am is also here. Thanks to her also, who kept me pushing for everything. And my journey has been wonderful. And I know there is a long way to go. But thank you, Dr. Ankit. Thank you, everyone sitting here, for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
You all can
Thank
call
you.
me Ankit because suddenly you all calling me doctor out of nowhere in front of an audience makes me suddenly feel very old and very senior, which I'm not. So thank you so much. And one thing for which I would like to congratulate Pooja in front of everyone is that a lot of her performance was her own doing. She could not find the time to work with us a lot, and we couldn't mentor her a lot. Yet, despite that, she worked really hard on her story just by herself, rehearsal after rehearsal, and that also with having a child at home and a pet at home. And with all those responsibilities, she was still really adamant that I want to perform and I will make it happen. And from that to see you today to make it happen, I think we are all very proud of you, Pooja. And thank you for pulling this off. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
So I don't feel like announcing this story, not because it's not a good story, but because it's our last story for the evening. But करना
Sarvika,
ही
Sarvika,
पड़ेगा.
there might be a twist about the last thing that might be revealed
Oh,
after this story.
oh, oh, lovely. I'm excited now. You made my mood. So now I'm going to announce it very happily. So we have Surbhi. तो ये हमारी कहानी हिंदी में है, called आशा अमरधन. So it is a story of hope. So that's all I'm going to say. It's a story of hope. ये आशा की कहानी है. And with that, Surbhi, I hand it over to you. So please go for it.
Thank you, Sarvika. So yes, जैसा अंकित भैया ने कहा, there is a twist. So there is a twist in the story also. So be prepared for it. ये एक गांव की बात यार, ये एक कूचे की बात यार, पर कौन सा गांव और कौन सा कूचा ठीक ठाक मालूम नहीं. जो बात हमें मालूम है वो, जो बात हमें मालूम है वो, कि था राजस्थान में एक गांव जहाँ रहता था एक किसान. वही किसान और उसकी वही कहानी. सूखी जमीन, बारिश को तरसती निगाहें, महाजन का चढ़ता हुआ कर्जा और उस पे असमय मौसम की मार. और इसी के साथ इतनी परेशानियों में भी एक घटना और घट गई. किसान की पत्नी असमय चल बसी अपने पीछे छोड़कर दो नन्ही सी जान. अब घर वालों ने समझाया कि कैसे तू रखेगा अपने घर बार और द्वार का ध्यान. तो भैया तुम ले आओ दूसरी बीवी और बच्चों के लिए एक माँ. तो हमें लगता है ना कि कहानी अब बदलेंगी, लेकिन नहीं, कहानी फिर वही है. सौतेली माँ आई और चाह कर भी पुरानी कहानियों की तरह वह माँ न बन पाई. और इसी तरह वक्त बीतता चला गया. धीरे 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 फिर पड़ा एक भीषण अकाल. गांव दाने दाने को तरसने लगा. तब किसान ने सोचा अब यहाँ तो गुजारा ना होगा, किसी और देश जाकर कमाना खाना होगा। उसने अपनी पत्नी से बात की और कहा कि हम चलते हैं, पर पत्नी बच्चों को लेकर ले जाने को तैयार ना हुई। कुछ भी हो जाए मैं इनको लेकर नहीं जाऊंगी। किसान ने बहुत मिन्नती की और कहा, बाप हूं, सगा बाप, कैसे इन्हें छोड़कर जाऊं, कुछ तो समझ। वो ना मानी तो दोनों ने एक जुगत लगाई कि चलो इन्हें छोड़ते हैं इनकी किस्मत के सहारे और हम चलते हैं, पर जाते जाते दो प्यार के शब्द तो बोल ही सकते हैं। पत्नी ने कहा ठीक है, मानती हूँ। वो बड़े प्यार से बच्चों के पास गई और बोली, बच्चों, हम दिन मजूरी को जाते हैं, शाम को आएंगे तो तुम्हारे लिए दो झुनझुने लेकर आएंगे, पर तुम लड़ना ना, मिलकर रहना। बरसों से प्यार को तरसे बच्चे हुलस गए और खुशी खुशी बोले, हाँ माँ, आप जाइए, आप कमा कर लाइए और हमारे लिए झुनझुने जरूर लेकर आइएगा। इतना कहकर दोनों पति पत्नी झोपड़े के कुंडे को लगा वहां से चल दिए, उन्हें उनके हाल पे छोड़। दिन बीतने लगा। संध्या को भाई ने पूछा, जीजी, ओ जीजी, संध्या हो गई क्या? तो बहन बोली, अरे नाना वीर, संध्या तो तब होगी जब अपने माँ बाप आ जाएंगे, जब माँ बापू आएंगे और झुंझुना लाएंगे। वीर बहल गया। दिन गुजरता रहा, दिन रात, इस तरीके से महीनों बीत गए। झोपड़ी से सिर्फ दो आवाजें आती, संध्या हुई क्या? नाना, माँ बापू आएंगे तब संध्या होगी। इस तरीके से साल बीत गए। मौसम बदला, नियति बदली और गांव की तकदीर भी। किसान व उसकी पत्नी वापस अपने गांव लौटे। जैसे ही वो अपनी झोपड़ी के समीप गए, उन्हें कुछ आवाजें सुनाई दी। तो उन्हें लगा, अरे कहीं कुछ पीछे से भूत प्रेत तो नहीं हो आया। पर धीरे धीरे जब वो झोपड़ी के और निकट गए तो उन्होंने सुना, भैया, सांझ नहीं हुई है, बस होने वाली है, माँ बापू आने ही वाले हैं, कुछ देर और। अचानक से किसान और उसकी पत्नी ने दरवाजा खोला। दोनों बच्चे उछलते कूदते अपने माँ बाप के पास आए और कहने लगे, माँ बापू आ गए, माँ बापू आ गए, हमारा झुंझुना लाए। हैरान परेशान से किसान और उसकी पत्नी को कुछ न सूझा। पत्नी के मुंह से निकला, नहीं। और उसी क्षण दोनों बच्चे चक्कर घिन्नी खाकर जमीन पर गिर पड़े और उनकी आत्माएं उस झोपड़ी को छोड़कर आसमान की ओर चल निकली। माया मरी न मन मरा, मर मर गए शरीर। माया मरी न मन मरा, मर मर गए शरीर। आशा तृष्णा ना मरी, कह गए दास कबीर। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Surbi ji. It was a very different story, and I think it was so beautiful. इतनी बड़ी चीज है उम्मीद, होप, ना कभी थकती है ना कभी हार मानती है, and that is just enough to get us going. आई थिंक हम सब लोग वेट कर रहे थे कि बस वी वर थिंकिंग कि कुछ और ना हो जाए बस, बट इट इज सो सो ब्यूटिफुली टोल्ड। सुरभि जी, मैं और कुछ ज्यादा नहीं बोलना चाहूंगी। आई वुड लाइक टू गिव दिस टाइम टू यू टू टॉक अबाउट योरसेल्फ। आप अपने बारे में और अपनी इस जर्नी के बारे में प्लीज हमें बता दीजिए।
और सुरभि जी, अगर आप हमें इन लेखक के बारे में भी, जो विजय दान देथा जी ने ये कहानी लिखी है और ये कहानी राजस्थान से आती है, अगर उसके बारे में भी आप हल्का सा कुछ बता पाए तो हमें बड़ी मदद मिलेगी इस कहानी को समझने में।
जी धन्यवाद। मैं राजस्थान से ही बिलोंग करती हूँ और ये जो कहानी है वो विजय दान देथा की है, जिन्हें हम प्यार से बिजी भी कहते हैं। तो जैसा मुझे नहीं लगता कि शायद इन्हें काफी लोगों ने पढ़ा हो, लेकिन प्रेमचंद जी को हम सभी जानते हैं। तो जैसे वो काफी रॉ और रियल स्टोरीज लिखा करते थे, जो बहुत ही लोगों की बिना किसी नाटकीयता के बिल्कुल एक सच्चा सच जो परोसते थे। मैं चाहूंगी कि आप ये स्टोरी पढ़ें क्योंकि ये बहुत ज्यादा रॉ है। मैंने इसे बहुत ठीक किया ताकि मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे सुना सकूं। और दुविधा जिस पर एक पहली मूवी बन चुकी है शाहरुख खान की, वो भी दुविधा सही नाम से जो थी वो विजयदान जी द्वारा ही लिखी गई थी। तो काफी अच्छी कहानियां हैं इनकी, आपको उसके बारे में लोक जीवन का पता लगेगा। और अपने बारे में जैसा मैं बताऊं, आशा मर्धन, ये मैंने बचपन में दूरदर्शन पे टीवी में देखी थी और ये तब से मेरे दिमाग में इम्प्रिंट है स्टोरी। एंड स्टिल आई बिलीव कि होप भी है जो हमें लेके चलती है। मैं पीएचडी स्कॉलर हूँ, रिसर्च स्कॉलर। अंकित भैया मेरे सीनियर रहे हैं। एंड अभी मेरा जो पूरा रिसर्च है वो स्टूडेंट्स, यूथ, एकेडमिक स्ट्रेस, उन सब के अराउंड है। उसके अलावा मैं इंडिपेंडेंट सोशल वर्क इंटरवेंशनिस्ट के रूप में भी काम कर रही हूँ। स्टोरी सुनाना पसंद है और सुनना उससे भी ज्यादा पसंद है। तो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मी। थैंक यू।
शुक्रिया सुरभि। सुरभि के बारे में मैं कम से कम इतना तो बताना चाहूंगा कि इस कहानी को चुनने में भी बहुत हिम्मत लगी। बताना तो फिर भी बाद में आता है, पर इस कहानी को चुनने में और ये सोचने में कि अक्सर जब हम कहानी के बारे में सोचते हैं तो हम चाहते हैं कि हम बस लोगों को हंसा दें किसी तरह से, या चौंका दें, या किसी तरह से आसानी से हम निकल जाएं उस रास्ते से कहानी सुनाने के। लेकिन सुरभि ने, या इस कहानी ने सुरभि को शुरू से पूरी तरह से पकड़े रखा। और काफी जूझे हैं हम इस कहानी के साथ सुरभि को देखते हुए कि क्या हम मौत के बारे में बात करें। क्या एक माँ बाप अपने बच्चे को मरने के लिए छोड़ सकते हैं? क्या वो मौत अंत में होनी चाहिए, या हम उसके बारे में ना जिक्र करें? इन सारे सवालों से भी सुरभि जूझी हैं। तो ना सिर्फ उन्होंने कहानी सुनाने के ऊपर काम किया, बल्कि इस कहानी के ऊपर भी बहुत सारा काम किया। और उनके इस काम करने से ये बहुत सारे सवाल हैं जो हम सबको सोचने को मिले कि कहानियों को कितना बदला जाए सुनाने से पहले, और कितना कहानियों को वैसे ही सुनाया जाए जैसे उन्हें लिखा गया है। और ये कुछ सवाल है जिनके जवाब अभी हम ढूंढ ही रहे हैं। इसका हमारे पास कोई आखिरी जवाब नहीं है। तो बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सुरभि जी। और इस बीच मेरे पास एक संदेश है जिसको हम सरप्राइज भी बोल सकते हैं। वो ये कि व्हाट्सएप पर मुझे बहुत सारे लोगों ने लिख के भेजा कि सेशन के शुरुआत में कुछ टेक्निकल एरर हुआ, जिसकी वजह से कुछ लोग पहली कहानी के दौरान सेशन के अंदर नहीं आ पाए। पर मेरी गुजारिश रहेगी कि जो पहली कहानी थी, जो पूर्णा जी ने सुनाई थी, और अगर उसे हम में से 30-50 लोग नहीं सुन पाए, तो क्यों ना इस सेशन को खत्म करने से पहले हम इस सेशन को थोड़ा सा खिसका के थोड़ा और बढ़ा दें। और अगर पूर्णा जी की कहानी को हम एक बार फिर से सुन सकें, और उसी के साथ हम इस सेशन का अंत कर सकेंगे, तो मेरी रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी ऑडियंस से, अगर हम 5 मिनट और रुक सके और एक बार फिर से इस कहानी को सुन के जहां से हमारा सत्र शुरू हुआ था वापस इसी कहानी के साथ अगर हम खत्म कर सके। तो हम स्वागत करते हैं पूर्णा का, जो एक कहानी इंग्लिश में लेकर आ रही है जिसका नाम है द रैबिट लिसन।
Thank you. So, yeah, as you know, as I already mentioned, this is a story, it's very close to my heart, and I'll never get bored. So, let's listen again. So, yeah, again, we will close our eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and relax. And now, we are going to open our eyes and open our heart again and listen to the story. One day, Minnie decided to build something new, something special, something amazing. It would be a world crafted out of her imagination, a space where she could live in forever, untouched by time. She was completely immersed in her play. She was feeling happy, she was feeling excited and proud. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, things came crashing down. The world she was creating was shattered in front of her eyes. She couldn't even protect it. She was speechless, frozen, numb. The chicken was the first to notice. Oh, cluck, 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 cluck. What a shame! What a shame! Please talk about it, talk about it. But Minnie was not ready to talk. So the chicken left. Next came the bear. Oh, how horrible! I bet you feel angry. Let's shout about it. But Minnie didn't feel like shouting. So the bear left. The elephant knew exactly what to do. Tram-ta-da, I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly the things where. But Minnie didn't feel like remembering. So the elephant also left. One after another they came. The hyena, let's laugh about it. The ostrich, gulp. Let's hide and pretend nothing happened. The kangaroo, what a mess. Let's throw things away. And the snake, let's go and knock down someone else's. But Minnie didn't want to do anything with anybody. So eventually they all left until she was alone. In the quiet, she didn't even feel the rabbit, didn't even notice the rabbit. But it came closer and closer until she could feel its warm body. Together, they sat in silence until Minnie said, "Please stay with me." The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened as Minnie talked. The rabbit listened as Minnie shouted. The rabbit listened as Minnie tried to remember and laughed. The rabbit listened Minnie's plan to hide something, to throw things away, to ruin someone else's. Through it all, the rabbit never left. And when the time was right, the rabbit listened Minnie's plan to build again. "I can't wait," Minnie said. "It's going to be amazing." Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit, for that surprise. Thank you, Purna, for that. I love this story. So I'm so happy we got to hear it again. And I love your telling style. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Purna. When you were telling the story, it was the audience listened. And she was narrating it, audience listened. And she was loud and the audience listened. So thank you so much, Purna, for this energy that you brought. And I think it's a good note for us to leave the audience a little hungry for tomorrow as well. I think अभी तक हमने सिर्फ अचार, पापड़, सलाद ये सब ऑफर किया है। जो हमारी रोटी और सब्जी है वो तो हमारे कल इंतजार कर रही है। तो इतनी ही कहानियां जितनी आपने आज सुनी, आप कल भी सुनेंगे जब आप 4 बजे हमें ज्वाइन करेंगे। पर इससे पहले कि आप जाएं, क्यों ना हम थोड़ी देर के लिए आपको भी सुन सकें। तो ऑडियंस में से अगर कोई कुछ वक्त लेके बताना चाहेगा कि उन्हें हमारे कहानीकार और उनकी कहानियां कैसी लगी, let's take a minute to just hear from the audience. How was it for you to come and witness and listen to these stories?
Hello, I'm Mohua. I have been introduced by Purna, and I am introduced to her very recently. So she knows me. We know each other through this phone only. Haven't met. First time I saw her today. And to me, the session was awesome. I don't want to use the word awesome, but it came. Sorry, because I'm 60 plus, so I am not used to this word actually. It's a Gen Z word, I think, but still I used it. Really, I want to listen. I want to be a listener actually. I don't want to be a storyteller because I think few people must only be listeners, So that's my takeaway. It's a beautiful session I had. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mahua ji, and thank you for that awesome speech as well. It was awesome. You are Gen Z. We can see that. I would also like to invite more members of the audience if they want to leave some words with us for our storytellers. Perhaps if Professor Padma, Professor Neerja, if you can hear us, we would love to hear a few words from you. It would really mean a lot to us.
So may I?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I want to first say a big thank you to you, Ankit, for inviting me to hear all these wonderful storytellers. It was a very rich evening, and congratulations to each and every storyteller. It was very nice listening to everyone. And best of all, congratulations to you, Ankit, for awakening and nurturing the storyteller in so many people. It's a great service you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nidja. Um, let's enjoy these moments of silence. Because this is the part nobody prepared about, right? You have no script for this part. We only prepared till here. We had no idea what's going to happen now. But we also have people who have learned storytelling some years ago with us. I think I can see at least Omkar. Omkar, if you can unmute and perhaps just say a few words to people who are learning now. So giving a context to this course. This is a 6-month course, and we are 3 months into the course. So far, our learners have had right about 12 learning sessions, and this is a showcasing of what we have learned so far. And this is just the first story that has come out of them, and there are so many more stories that are going to come out in months to come. In fact, we had so many performers that we had to divide the event into two. So right now we have some performances today and tomorrow, but that's not all. There are so many more teachers willing to waiting for their turn to tell stories. And so perhaps in the 14th and 15th of June, once again, 2 weeks from now, we will have a weekend and a similar session for us to showcase the stories teachers are working with. Omkar, I would love to hear some words from you.
Thank you, Ankit. I may sound like I'm sleeping, but I'm not sleeping. I was listening, and it was lovely. Uh, it's not that I want to tell you that at what time I woke up and listening to your story. You can just tell it was 3:30 in the morning when I woke up to listen to your stories. So you can imagine the energy which I wanted from this. So that moved me. Even though I thought whatever day would be, I will wake up at 3:30 and listen to all the stories and listen and meet the community here and meet you all. It is very inspiring. I did just to give you a brief, I worked with many years with teachers in research. Then I thought maybe children are the one who motivated me to in this space, and story was something which always motivated. But Ankit is like working with Ankit, that the journey itself was wonderful for me. Even though I work with teacher, children, whatever it is, but uh, the journey was really good. And now I work with children. I've moved working with children. I work in a preschool, in a Montessori school with children. Yeah, I thought the journey of teacher is important for me to experience. So I went back. So I'm working with children. That time uh, they love. It has improved the journey. What I had with Ankit and the entire community, it really was very good. So I tell stories every day now. So uh, and they want more and more. So sometimes I'm not prepared. I don't have bank. The bank itself is empty. So if you know, today I was noting them. I was just imagining that a book can come out of all these courses. It will be wonderful because they are so fresh. All these stories are so fresh and so new. And I feel in India we should have a lot of like books which are very local to us. So they are so rich. So I don't know, Ankit. I was just thinking of maybe a story book which can come out of every year if you're doing courses. Use such a rich resource for us.
Omkar,
But
we've
thank
also
you so much
grown.
for all your efforts. It was
Yeah.
lovely. It was very
We,
good.
I
It
just
was
wanted to
very
also
humbling.
update you. I worked with Omkar about 8, 9 years ago, and he was senior and senior to me. And then we had a chance to also learn together. So, Omkar, we have moved on also from just learning about storytelling to also doing some bit of ground research, some bit of collecting knowledge as well. So, I think this time, as a part of the course, a lot of our participants had to interview a practitioner on how do they use stories, how do they make stories, how do they use books with children, and all of these like there's a lot of knowledge in the field, there's a lot of knowledge in the practice that we want to have more into research as well for us to all learn. So we have now a compilation of 20 such interviews from all parts of India, which can give us an insight on how can we use stories, how can we use storytelling when we are facilitating any set of group. So I think it's moving on just from just the telling part to even research and yeah, all of these aspects of learning.
Definitely, it's a journey. Yeah, we keep going.
Thank you, Omkar. Shreya.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Ankit, for allowing me here. And I just want to, in a very, very, um, dramatic way, how the stories were presented, want to tell you what my experience is like listening to all these amazing storytellers. So, if I may, not so long ago, a little birdie told me that magic still exists. Not in spells, not in potions, but in stories. Whispered with heart, painted with words, brought to life by voices that know how to weave wonder. Thank you, my dear friends, for weaving wonder today. And I really, really was impressed. I heard stories, and I heard stories inside stories. I heard certain heartbeats which were loud and certain which were soft. I saw your emotions. It was a wonderful experience. Thank you for having me. And thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Shreya. I think you're bringing a very good reminder that even though we call this course about storytelling and this showcase is also about storytelling, what we really want is for more teachers to be heard and for more teachers to be seen as people, not just as people who are doing a service with children, but as people with aspirations and as people with a lot of love for themselves and a lot of care for the families they live with. And I think the act of telling stories does humanize us. Suddenly, we see people shivering and being scared. These are the people who have been teaching for 20 years. And yet, to become a student again, to surrender to the process of learning, and to work once again on yourself, it's such a humbling experience. It requires so much of surrender that I could see all of the senior teachers, so many senior teachers could do. I think I really appreciate that. I'm really happy that um, to see this process, there are also 100, members who could see you being storytellers. So this was a delightful thing. Thank you for
Thank
that
you so
reminder,
much.
Shreya. Yeah. I think with this, we are coming to a close of this evening. Goodbyes are always hard, and that's why all the more reason we should say it now. So I would like to thank all of you who came here, give your time to this, and all the performers who, despite all their fears and anxieties, showed up and told their stories and showed all of their sides to us. Thank you so much. It takes a lot of honesty to face an audience of grown-ups, a lot of courage. So thank you for doing that. And yeah, I think we all can just enjoy the warmth that these stories have created us. Um, Sarvika, Nandini, anything you want to speak before we close? Or Swati, Jemima, anything you want to say before we close?
I wanted to also appreciate Sarvika and Nandini for driving the show so well with no hiccups and very smooth transitions. And not only that, it you asked the questions that we wanted to ask the storytellers. And so it felt so personal. So thank you for that, both of you. Good job. And of course, the storytellers, each one of you, um, my goodness, it was worth all those conversations, the rehearsals, the discussions, the questions, the answers back and forth, all worth it. What a lovely evening. And of course, thank you, Ankit. The
Yes,
main
Jemima, I want to take a moment for all the audience to also notice two people who have worked incredibly hard to hear these stories, not once, not twice, but up to three, four, five times. I would like to pin Dr. Swati and Jemima, and I would want all of us to give them a really, really big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Ankit. Thank
Right.
you. And today, I don't know, I'm feeling little emotional as if, we have already, reached to the shores and when we started. And now we are connected with the entire group. All of us are Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati all together now. So I'm going to miss each one of you. And thank you for this opportunity, Ankit. I know when you started, I was in the middle of my session in school, but again, I spoke to my mentor, Neeraja Raghavan, and she said, "This is what you always like to do. You go for it." And yeah, so I'm so glad I joined, and thank you, each one of you. Today's all the stories, I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight because yesterday was very hectic day for me. Some of us I spoke to, I was traveling entire day, 9 hours flight delay. By the way, guys, don't take Spice Jet ever in your life, okay? And and then I reached yesterday night, and entire day I moved my house from one house to other house. So, but I wanted to come and be here, and looking forward to tomorrow again. Yeah, thank you so much. Each one of you are so special. So nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll be in Delhi next week. If any of you are around, storytellers, maybe we can meet up for a session,
Yes, and
an informal
perhaps
session.
Jemima, you would also want to tell about the course you are offering. There might be many members in the audience who might want to take interest in.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Ankit. So I am offering a workshop, a storytelling workshop for women, especially working women, called Women with Voices. And it will be 4 standalone sessions, and they'll be taken on Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, the gist of the workshop, or rather, maybe let me say the story of the workshop and how it came about, is also from the fact that, as somebody who's been working for 20 years, um, I have always been listening to other people's stories, other people's journey, and helping other people in theirs. But I have also grown along with the people that I work with, whether they're children or adults. And I felt that while I have been blessed to be given opportunities to tell the story of my own personal journey of growth as a professional woman, the difficulties that we face, not just at a personal level, even at a legal, constitutional levels also. Even in the family, there are many kind of very personal stories that keep collecting but may not always have a platform or a voice. So this is my little offering to women like me, who might want to voice their stories, or maybe they know their stories, they know their voice, but they need a platform, or maybe they might also just require a little nudge, the way we have been doing for each other in this workshop. A cheerleader sometime, an encourager sometime, an advisor, a friend. So this is a platform where other professional women, working women, can come together to kind of hone and strengthen their own voices within. So I'm happy to share the details Um, Maybe I'll share it in the group again. And if anybody is interested, please reach out and I'll be more than happy to talk about it in detail.
Yeah, every
Thanks,
member of
Ankit,
the
for
audience has my contact number. So anybody, any working women interested in the offering by Jemima, which is very rigorous and very sweet. Jemima might not have told herself, but she's the founder of 100 Story House, a library she created in Meghalaya, in her
Yes.
hometown. What's the name of the hometown?
Tura. And the special story about the 100-story house was that it was born at a time when there was a lot of insurgency in our place. Of course, now it's been about 7, 8 years since we've not had any incidents of violence. But at a time where, children did not want to go to school, or even if they did, it was just out of a sense of uh, a dull repetition of, or just thoughtlessly, mindlessly coming to school. Because there was nothing else to do in that town. We couldn't go to the parks, it wasn't safe. We couldn't go, we didn't have a children's library, or we didn't have a library, a functional one. And so many disadvantages in that little town. And I was born and brought up all over the country. So I have been blessed with, having my childhood filled with stories, storytellers like yourselves, wonderful teachers, wonderful opportunities. And I felt it was something that I needed to do for the children in the little place that I had come home to. So that's how the 100-story house was born. The 100-story house, why I chose that name is because, again, we've heard such beautiful songs and singing, in the stories. So stories could be in songs, in music, or in art, or even in dance. So there are so many different forms of storytelling. So I wanted to have a little space where we could explore all of this, and also everyone could call it home, could call it theirs.
Thank you so much, Jemima. And I want to tell not just the audience, but also the participants that even though people could only speak my name, they actually meant to speak the name of all three of us. But in the interest of time, they could only say the course led by me. But this course was jointly led by me, Jemima, Dr. Swati, and Swati Bagde, another participant and co-facilitator. So thank you, all of us, for actually being able to create this together. Thank you so much. And I can see the audience is one by one going back to their home, and participants don't want to go home. Somehow we want to stay here and talk more. And now I think that we have fewer members in the audience. Perhaps I can see the name of my own parents. So if I can request मम्मी पापा, अगर आप खुद को अनम्यूट करके हमें बताना चाहें कि आपको कैसी लगी ये कहानियां, अगर आप हमें सुन सकते हैं, अगर आप अनम्यूट करके बोले। हाँ,
बहुत अच्छी लगी कहानियां, 2 कहानियां बहुत अच्छी लगी अंकित।
कौन सी
और
कहानियां, कौन सी 2 कहानियां?
और वो जो बच्चों को छोड़ के पेरेंट्स गए थे, वो वाली कहानी बहुत अच्छी, वो बहुत टच कर गई वो। और एक वो चिड़िया वाली, दो
रंजनी जी की
बहुत,
कहानी। हाँ।
हाँ।
और ऐसा लग रहा था कि इन लोगों ने काफी प्रैक्टिस की है और काफी अच्छे से नरेट किया है कहानियों को, और कितनी एनर्जी उन्होंने डाली एक्शन के साथ। बहुत ही मजेदार पार्ट था ये, तो मजा आ गया, काफी अच्छा लगा। और अब पता लगा कि एक्चुअली क्या चल रहा था। तो पहले हम सोचते थे कि आगे करते क्या हो, तो आज उसका जवाब मिल गया और कुल मिला के बहुत ही अच्छा लगा।
थैंक यू मम्मी, थैंक यू पापा। अब हमारा
एंजॉय
सेशन
किया हम
बन
लोगों
गया
ने
है।
बहुत ही, और कल फिर से मिलेंगे।
हम्म,
तो
thank you for coming. Thank you all members of the audience who were here. Yeah, Veena.
Ankit, I just want to say to your parents, it was so lovely to hear your parents, and like they're so proud, and they got to see the end product, but there is so much process behind it which you have done. So I think your parents should be even more proud. And it was so lovely to hear your parents' voice because we heard your story. And I wish I could speak in Hindi, but I don't know. Somebody should step up and help me out here.
अंकल आंटी आपको बात बताते हैं, हमें भी नहीं पता था कि अंकित कर क्या रहे हैं। हमने कहा बोलते तो कुछ और है, बोला ब्रोशर में तो कुछ और था, हो कुछ और रहा है।
हम लोग तो बच्चों की कहानियां
सबके सामने कहानी
एग्जैक्टली हम लोग तो बच्चों को कैसे कहानी सुनाते ये सीखने के लिए आए। हम लोग खुद का ही कहानी मतलब लिख रहे हैं अभी।
लेकिन आप लोगों ने बहुत ही अच्छे से सुनाई और एक्शन के साथ, तो मतलब आपने शुरू भी किया अंत भी किया, बहुत अच्छी कहानी है।
विद एक्टिंग बहुत अच्छा लगा।
जबरदस्त।
थैंक यू।
जैसे मतलब
Sir
कहानी में
and ma'am, you have to tell us. You have to tell us. Oh, it's so lovely to see you both. So lovely to see you both. You have to tell us what has Ankit done naughty things.
Oh,
Because
Veena, that
he's
is
so
story for
mature.
another time.
He's
There
so
are
mature everywhere. He's like, he's so much younger to me, like my child, and he has so much of maturity. So you have to tell us a story, what the naughty things he has done.
there are members in the audience who have paid a ticket to come here and hear stories.
It's such a
They
lovely
would ask
boy,
for a
such a
refund.
he's such a lovely boy, so much of love, so much of maturity, and really so much of love he has for the whole community. And he's so well educated, he knows it, and he's really sculpted. He's the old soul.
अंकित आप किसी को इंट्रोड्यूस कराना भूल तो नहीं रहे शायद? कुछ भूल मतलब जस्ट रिमाइंड कर रहे हैं आपके स्टूडेंट, कुछ भूले नहीं, सिलेबस में कुछ रह गया हो टाइप्स।
हम तो उसी पल का इंतजार कर रहे थे।
नए और पुराने दोस्त दिख रहे हैं, कम से कम
उसी पल का इंतजार में बैठे हुए हैं होते।
भूल गए हमारी टीचर जी कुछ बता।
मुझे लग रहा है, मुझे ऑडियंस में से अपनी एक जान पहचान के चेहरा प्रणाली का दिख रहा है। प्रणाली, अगर आप अनम्यूट करके हमें बताना चाहें कि आपको कैसा लगा।
ओके, आई डोंट नो मैं नर्वस क्यों हो रही हूँ, पर बहुत अच्छा लगा। आप सब बहुत अच्छी कहानियां सुना रहे हो, एंड बचपन से आई लव स्टोरीज. आई हैव ग्रोन अप विथ रीडिंग a lot of stories. I'm from Gujarat, and a lot of Gujarati children's literature has been what has shaped me. So मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैं वहां पे वापस जा रही हूँ, वो सारी कहानियां वापस आ रही है. So बहुत अच्छा लगा. आप सब loved it. बहुत सही. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pranali, and such a beautiful name, and that's such a thoughtful, beautiful comment back.
Yeah, what a coincidence you love stories. Yeah.
I do love stories.
What a coincidence, right? What a coincidence.
आपके पास ऑप्शन है not to love stories, अंकित, आपके साथ.
I think as hard as it is time we should go back to our homes, go back to our families, and take some rest. You guys have worked really hard, especially those who performed today. I want, before we go, give a big round of applause to people who performed today.